What's going on, guys? Criminal Justice here, and today we're back with another LSPDFR tutorial. Today, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to install this new Grappler mod that I think is really awesome, in my opinion. I've seen Jeffrey Gamer do a tutorial on it. I watched Benzo's video on it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a tutorial on it because it looks really cool, and I've decided to put it in my game. I'm going to show you guys how to install it, how to manipulate the INI file, and we're going to go into game. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So with that said, everyone, click the link in the description below. It's going to bring you to this page right here. This is going to be for the Grappler mod by Echoo, who does a lot of great work around the LSPDFR community. What we're going to do is, like I said, guys, I always say this. I always recommend that everyone read the description of these mods, as there's a lot of useful information here. As you guys can see, there's Jeffrey's video and there's Benzo's video right here. But there's a lot of useful information in here that shows you, like, you know, the requirements for it and all that. So always read these, guys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to click download the file here, agree and download, and you want the main file right here. So you're going to download it right here. Put this somewhere where you're not going to get to it, guys. I recommend your desktop. You're going to need two things. You are going to need your GT5 main game directory, and you're also going to need OpenIV. If you do not have OpenIV, I will link a video on the top right corner taken my video showing you how to install OpenIV and how to get all your patch days, okay? Because you're going to need all that. With that said, let's open up our Grappler WinRAR. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to double click on the Grappler folder. And you guys are going to notice there's two different areas right here. The first thing we're going to do before we do anything is we're going to open up this GT5 folder right here in the WinRAR, okay? We're going to open that up, and we're going to grab the... Now, I'm not going to drop it because I already have it. Well, I'll drop it. I'll do it with you guys. Grab the plugins folder, pull it into your main game directory, drop it in. Now, you won't get this. This is just because I already have it in the game, okay? So, now, once you got that, we're going to go back in our WinRAR, and you'll notice there's a DLC pack here, okay? In your main game directory, you're going to navigate to mods. You're going to navigate to update, time 64, and DLC packs. Now, in the WinRAR, you're going to double click on that folder that says DLC pack right there, and you're going to grab this folder here. This is Grappler. You're going to pull it into your DLC packs and drop it in. Again, you will not get this. This is only because I already have it installed. Once you've got that, let's go back to our main game directory, in which you should be in the last part of your pathway should say GT5, okay? Now, in the WinRAR, we're going to go back, and we're going to go to this README right here, okay? And then you're going to open up your OpenIV, and you want Windows for Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, in the README, it's very important that you guys do this. You're going to see a line right here. See this line right here? This is greater than and then less than. It's got the item DLC Grappler there. You're going to highlight that from the greater than to the less than. You're going to right-click, and you're going to copy, okay? Make sure you copy that. Once you're done, you can close out of the README. And inside your OpenIV, guys, as always, make sure that your edit mode is turned on. If your edit mode's not on, it will not work properly, okay? So make sure your edit mode is turned on. All right, so inside your OpenIV, you're going to go to mods. You're going to go to update, update.rpf, common, and data. And in here, you're going to see a DLC list.xml right there, okay? That's the one we're going to be working with. Once you find that, you're going to highlight it. You're going to right-click and click Edit. All right, and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. As you guys can see, my line is already in right there, okay? But here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your cursor on the last item line and hit Enter one time and hit left Control V. And it's going to paste that in there for you. See that Grappler? Now, I have it twice, but I'm going to cancel it. But I want you guys to click Save, all right? I'm going to click Cancel. You guys click Save, okay? Now, once you've saved it, if you go back into it by double-clicking and you go all the way to the bottom, you will see your Grappler line is there. Without that being in that DLC list, it will not load it in the game, okay? So, let's go ahead and close out of our OpenIV, close out of our WinRAR. We can get rid of this shortcut. Now, inside of your main game directory, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to plugins, and it's going to be right here. This is a standalone plugin, okay? So it's going to be in your plugins folder. Now you're going to scroll down until you get to the grappler configuration setting. You're going to open it up. All right, and we're going to get this real big. And right here is your deploy key for the grappler. So in other words, to make it work, to open it up, okay? Because the grappler sits on the front of the vehicle, and when you hit this key, it unfolds the grappler, okay? So you can leave this, for keyboard users, you can leave this at Y, or you can change it to whatever else you want to change it to. However, if you change it to another letter, just make sure it's a capital letter, okay? Now, down here for controller users, this is what I do. I go in here and I highlight this thing here that says right shoulder. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go down here where it says deploy modifier button equals none. I'm going to highlight that none and hit left control V. Let me close out of that. I don't know why I did that. And that's going to be my right shoulder. So in other words, my right bumper, okay? Now in here, deploy button. This is going to be the key on your controller, the button on your controller. I'm going to put a capital B. So to open up my grappler, it would be right bumper and the B button, you know, not at the same time, but right bumper and then B. So that's how you would do that. And again, you can change this key on the keyboard if you want to for keyboard users, but this is how I set it. And you've got all kinds of options here, as you can see, to set for your controller keybinds, okay? So that's what I put at is right bumper and B. Once you're done, guys, make sure you click File, click Save. We're going to close out of this, close out of our main game directory, and as always, guys and girls, I know I can never stress this enough, but clean out that recycle bin. It's important to do so. So we're going to go into the game, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how this mod works. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it is showtime. We're going to check out this grappler mod. So here's what you want to do. One thing you got to keep in mind with this grappler mod is it has to be manually set by the menu. And there's a way to pull that menu up. In my opinion, there should be a keybind for the menu instead of having to load it through the Rage console key. But that's just my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the F4 console key. And we are going to type in load. And you see right there it says load plugin. Hit tab, space. And then find where it says grappler.dll, hit tab, and then we're going to load. Okay, we're going to load the grappler. Now, once we have the grappler loaded, we want to put it on the vehicle, right? So here's what you want to do. You want to type in SPAWN spawn tab space, and we're going to type in GRAPPLER. Oh, we can do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let me try that one more time. Sorry, guys. SPAWN. And then it's all one word. Sorry about that. So spawn grappler, you see it right there. Hit tab and hit enter. Now, you're going to notice it's already on the front of my car. Okay? Because the reason that is because I saved it this way through the menu. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop out of my car. I'm going to hop out of this one, and I'm going to get into this car over here and show you guys how to set this, okay? I just want to show you that it's already set on that car. All right, you'll do the same thing. You're going to hit. Now, once you load it in the game, you don't have to load it again. You just hit F4. You get into a different vehicle. You're going to type in spawn, GR, and there's spawn grappler. Hit tab and hit spawn, okay? And it's going to spawn the grappler for you, okay? All right, now, as you guys can see, it's way up high right there. See that? I don't know why it's that high. We're going to hit F4, and we're going to type in Grappler, and you see it right there where it says Grappler Config Offset. You're going to hit Tab and hit Enter, and you're going to see that menu pop up. Now, you can hit Escape. And now with this menu, okay, and let me move it back here a little bit. I don't know if I can change the view. Anyway, with this menu, you can do it with ropes or without the ropes. You obviously want the ropes. That's the whole purpose of the grappler, right? So we're going to go down. If you notice, the one thing I did like that he did with this menu was the fact on the X, Y, and Z, it tells you in which direction that grappler is going to go when you move it, okay? So, for example, X, it says it'll go left and right. This will take it backward and forward, and this will bring it up and down. I'm so glad he did it that way, because most of these menus that have this X, Y, and Z, they don't tell you which way it's going to go, okay? So I think that's a plus side to it. So we're going to start moving this grappler down, because we want it to be, you know, initially we want it to be on the front of the car, right? So I'm going to turn my camera here just a little bit. And we're just going to move it down until you get it on the front of the car, like it was on my other car over there. It's disappeared now because I spawned it to this one. All right. So let's bring it down to about right there, and then we're going to start bringing it over to the right. Just like so. But once you've got this set on a particular vehicle, it's set. Every time you come into the game, you will not have to do this again. It's already set, okay? So we're going to move it to the front of the vehicle, and you might have to move it up and down to adjust it to your liking. All right, so we're going to take it out onto the push bar right here, and then we're going to take it down a little bit, just like so. All right, so let's see about how that... So that looks pretty good right there, right? Now, you can look at the front of the vehicle, and you can center it like this if you want to. I like mine, you know, completely centered because I'm OCD or whatnot. But that looks pretty center to me right there. That looks very center. Now, you can move this however you want. You can move it, like I said, up and down, back and forth. But once, the only time you'll have to reset this is if you get into a different vehicle, okay? Now, once you're done and you got it set where you want, make sure you click Save Offset. And you'll see it right there above your menu map, confirmation grappler offset saved /updated. We're going to hit backspace. Now, the way I've got mine set is I've got mine set on right bumper B. So when I hit that configuration, it's going to open up that grappler just like so, okay? Just like that. All right? And just to close it back up, you hit the same keybind. Whatever keybind you have it on, whether you left it on Y on the keyboard, or you changed that keybind, or you put it on your controller, that's the keybind you're going to use to open this grappler every single time and to also close it back. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and it's set now, and every time I come into the game, all I got to do is get into this specific car or that specific car, and I would go to the F4 console key, and I would just type in spawn grappler, and you're ready to go. That's all you have to do. But you do not have to move it around unless, like I said, you get into a different vehicle. Like for example, this one's under police 1. So if I got into like a police 2 vehicle or a police 3, just a different police vehicle, then I would have to reset the grappler, you know, with the configuration. So I'm just going to point this one out here, and I do that just out the pad. The way I do it, for those wondering, is I just point my gun at the vehicle, and I push up on the D-pad a few times, or I think it's T on the keyboard a few times. But you got to point your weapon and do it, just like that. See? And then you point them out as a pursuit target. All right, so let's get that grappler out. There it goes. And we're going to get right up behind this guy and get close to him. And you'll see the rope attached. Once you get up close enough to him, it'll grab onto him. Come on, get up there, get him. Right there, see, you got him? Pretty cool stuff, right? Pretty cool stuff. Look at that, it's pretty awesome. And you can stop, and they can, keep in mind, they can actually pull your police car. See, he's pulling me right now. So just keep in mind, they can pull you, all right? There it is. And we got him, man, we got him. All right, let's get this guy tased. But that's pretty much how the grappler works there, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pretty cool mod. I seen Jeffrey use it, Jeffrey Gamer. I seen Benzo use it, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a tutorial on this as well and check this thing out. But that's how it works, guys. Like I said, once you go in the game, you load it up, you spawn it, and then you set it to that particular vehicle. You don't have to set it again. You just get in your vehicle, and you would spawn the grappler is how you do it. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. Got the grappler on there. Now, to reset it, you got to hop back in the car. You're going to hit the same key bind that you used to open it with, and it will reset the grappler just like so. Now, I'm going to hop out of this car, and I'm going to grab the Lancer, and I'll show you that it is saved to it. So I'm going to spawn my vehicle here, and I'm going to spawn my Lancer, okay? Now, I already had it set to this one, and I saved it earlier. So we're going to hit F4, and we're going to type in spawn Grappler, and you're going to hit tab and enter. As you guys can see, it's saved right down the front of the vehicle, and it is ready for use. And I think it's a cool mod, man. I just think, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think Echoo's the one that made this mod. In my opinion, dude, what I think you need to do is set the menu, the config menu, to a specific keybind where we can hit a key on our keyboard and just bring it up without having to do it through Rage plugin hook or the console key. Because here's the thing, when we go to type that in, well, the only way to pull that menu up is you got to type it in here, and which is the Grappler config offset. Hit tab, hit enter, and that brings up your menu, which is fine. But in my opinion, the way that I personally like it, and I think I can speak for most people when I say this, is menus like this is very important to put them on a specific keybind so we can pull them up in game. So Echoo, if you could do that, that would be absolutely amazing. With that said, everyone, that's going to do it for this LSPDFR tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash that like button for me. Click that bell and click all, so you never miss any future content or live streams. Also, guys and girls, do not forget we do have a Patreon where we have tons and tons and tons of exclusive content. Everything from LSPDFR, GTA 5 to FS25 exclusive content. We play all kinds of games. Like Gears of War, we play it all on the Patreon, guys. So if you want exclusive content that's got like less ads or ad free, or you just want exclusive content just to support the channel or me here, you know, more than what you already do, then I will link the Patreon in the pinned comments. With that being said, everyone, have an amazing day, and until next time, stay strong, stand firm, stay in prayer, and put God first. I will see you all in the next video. This mod is awesome, man.